I ain't doing nothing, y'all.
Oh, yeah, we are live. What
Only
is
your
going on, man?
ass.
Hey, man,
Oh,
first of
you
all, shout out to
weird.
all those Drake fans right now catching extreme L's. You know, BBL Drizzy on the map.
Yeah. Already?
Ouch.
What? But, yo, this is a pop-up show, man. Let's get into it. Hold up. Intro first. Monday night pop-up show. What is happening, everybody? This your boy Berto, your host of the 95 North Falcons Talk Show. I'm here with my guys, man. The 95 North Sports Machine, that is. Smitty, Chris, but we got some special guests in the building. Those guys over there, man, for one time for the fan and Dirty Fanatics United. What is going on, fellas? Jack, we'll start with you, man. How's your evening going so far, man?
Oh, feeling good, feeling great. Always down to do a pop-up show, talking Falcons. I mean, we had a show last night. For those in the chat, one time for the fan. Catch us every Sunday, every Wednesday, Friday mornings too as well. But yeah, show last night, and then we're back here talking Falcons football again. I'm all for it. So shout out to everybody here on the chat. Smitty, good to see you again. Berto, Chris,
No
my
doubt.
boy
Know
Chase,
it, man.
T Will's here too as well. I mean, it's gonna be a great night, man. Why should I spend time talking about what's about to happen when Chase can tell you what's about to happen? Chase,
Let's
What's
go,
up,
Chase.
people? Berto, appreciate the invite. Smitty,
No problem,
Chris,
man. Of
Terry,
course.
Jack, what's going on, boys? Appreciate the invite, man. It's time to talk Falcon football. Can't complain, man. Draft is over with. Falcons have gave us something to speak about, so I'm here for it, man. Let's get it.
T. Will, how you feeling this
That
evening,
did-
man?
Feeling good, man.
Go
Glad
ahead,
to
T.
be here. Got to say what's up to Berto, what's up to Smitty,
Sure.
what's up to Chris. Of course, Mr. Jack Spade and Chase. Hope y'all doing well. Happy to be here, man. Thank God woke me up this morning. Looking forward to talking some Falcons football, gentlemen. Berto, I'm going to defer to you. Go ahead, sir.
Absolutely, man. It seems like the Falcons are always in some sort of shamble or some conversations.
Right.
Well, before we started, man, you know, you had mentioned something about misery. What's up, Smitty? You keep pointing. What's up?
No, I'll just point at you.
Oh, my bad. What's going on here? Yeah, so the Falcons always seem to be in some sort of news of some controversy or some, you know, shout out Mike Florio, you punk, always trying to shed some light on the Falcons business and whatnot. But Chris, I'm sorry, T-Will, you had mentioned something about the Falcons' misery, and we're going to tie that into our first topic, and which is, here we go again, man. The Falcons in some news again, or Kirk Cousins, that is news. Feeling some sort of way that the Falcons went on and they drafted Michael Penix. So the real underlying question is, should Kirk Cousins really feel threatened by Michael Penix, man? So, Smitty, I'll start with you, man. What's your thought on it?
Hey, man, before we get started, we got to holler at Mon Dukes, man. Mon Dukes
Oh,
coming.
Mon's in the
Oh,
building.
yeah.
How are you?
Shout out to
Shout out, Mon.
my boy John Abraham also, man. Today is his birthday, man. Shout out to him. Don't spend too much time in the strip club. Just take my word for it. But this is
Send the
gonna be a
invite, John.
topic, man. This is gonna be a topic all season, man. If y'all, whether y'all like it or not, should Kirk Cousins be worried about Michael Penix? No. They pay you $100 million guaranteed to be the quarterback, to do your job, to be a mentor to him. So just do what you got to do. Stay focused, and just let the media talk, because they gonna do it here. I've been doing it. So just let us talk. Let us talk about what we're gonna talk about with the situation. But trust me, stay focused. Do what you need to do in all this. He was going. He didn't go back to Minnesota because they were drafting the quarterback here. The same thing happened in Atlanta. So it really don't matter where you at. This wasn't gonna go the way you wanted to anyway. One, you're 36 years old. Two, you worth a lot of money. So whatever they pay you, you deal with whatever come with it.
Yep.
I'm talking about outlined that thing pretty well there, sir.
You might as well go ahead and give your thoughts, bro.
Smitty said that with his chest, everyone. Y'all seen that?
Well, he is at 10K, so he does a good job with talking.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? He said, I ain't get that for no reason, playboy.
Spitting facts.
But,
Yeah, man. But in short, also too, man, you know, this is kind of happening all over again, right? RG3 was in that situation with Kirk Cousins, so Kirk Cousins should know how to embrace this moment that we're all talking about right now. If anything, man, just continue to be the consummate professional that you have been throughout your career, man. Just lead by example. You know what I mean? I don't think that he should feel any threat. by Michael Penix. If anything, he should have saw a move like this coming. He's no spring chicken, 36 years of age, coming off a devastating injury, that Achilles injury. So having insurance for now your new team, who you supposed to be standing on logo business, as my guy on the mark will say, so it's whatever the team wants to do. So he should be all for it. But Jack, anything you want to add on to this topic?
Hell yeah, they should feel threatened. They should fight. No, I'm just playing. Nah. Kirk Cousins is he's
don't say that too loud.
Sheesh. He's a professional.
You know they watching.
You notice some fans probably going to clip that and say, "You see what Jack said?" Nah, but Falcon fans in the chat, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Not only for one time for the fan, but everybody here on the channel. But for Kirk Cousins, he's a professional, right? And the leadership that they're asking for as a quarterback to come over here and help rebuild that quarterback room that we didn't have the past 2 years. Kurt understands that.
Speaking of the devil,
right?
Yeah, and like Smitty said, like Minnesota, you kind of knew that they was going to go with a younger quarterback eventually. Like you're at an point in your life where, I think everybody's kind of shocked about what happened with the Falcons selecting Michael Penix, but they're securing now and they're securing their future. I think Kurt kind of understands that now too as well. I don't think he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. I don't think he's threatened by the situation of what's going on. But Kurt, once again, he is a professional quarterback in the NFL. He's just like a Matt Ryan, right? So he's just going to go out there, he's going to do his job, right? He's going to make everybody else around him better too as well. And we should see a high-flying offense this year. This is filler content for that media outside of the Falcons community, right? Because they need something to talk about, and they're going to talk about this every day with Michael Penix. They're going to come find different reports, and it could be something where Kirk Cousins shows up to camp 20 minutes late and Penix was there, the first one in the building. They're going to talk about it, right? They're going to try to find anything they can to have Falcon fans be upset over the fact that, we selected a quarterback after going after Kirk Cousins in the offseason. So I have no problem with it, and no, I'm not. I don't see no threat for Kirk.
Hey, and I'll give y'all a quick thought. If anybody want to take an example from somebody, take it from Alex Smith. Happened to him twice. Happened in San Francisco with Colin Kaepernick. Happened to him in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. Did he get mad? Did he start pitching fit? No, he just kept doing what he needed to do. So he had a solid career. So just let it go, man. Just let it go.
Hey, man. Yeah, you see it all the time. Like T. Will was talking about with the Eagles situation. You don't see it so many different situations. It's not just that. You can look in history so many times where, quarterbacks are going to get drafted if they're talented and you want to add to your team. That's what you're supposed to do because it's all about the logo. And that's at the end of the day. Kirk Cousins should be worried about nothing except for getting us, first of all, the NFC South championship or the NFC South title. Then moving into the playoffs, get us some playoff wins, and eventually a hoist of the Lombardi. That's the only thing he should be worried about.
Yeah, no for me, what's funny about this whole thing is it's the inconsistency, right? So what we were discussing before we came on is there are a couple of articles by some news guys that basically said, look, they've talked to coaches and I would say at least three, a few is three. So at least 3 or 4 coaches have come out and said it's Caleb Williams and then Michael Penix in that order. Looking at his arm talent, his ability to throw, the touch, he's the number 2 pick, right? Now, number 1, this is from guys at PFF who basically said as far as his progressions, Michael Penix is number 2 right behind Caleb Williams. This is from Albert Breer, who was basically quoting coaches and a few other folks. So what I'm not understanding is if he's number 2 before the draft, right? If he let's walk with this for a second, right? Maybe y'all can help me out. If he's number 2,
on with it.
If he's number 2, which means he's better than Jaden, right? He's better than everybody. He's number 2 on your list. And you got him at number 8. Did I miss something? Take Kirk Cousins out of it, right? He's the second best quarterback, agreed, from several coaches. You got him at 8. That's win number 1, right? Number 2, you have, and no disrespect to Kirk Cousins, great quarterback, very good quarterback, solid, delivers 4,900 yards, or at least 4,500, but he's 36. He's coming off an Achilles injury. and Father Time is undefeated. Father Time will come and get us all, right? Wouldn't you want some assurances? I would. I would want some assurances. I would, right? You say, well, you just gave him $100 million. You're absolutely right. And I want some assurances because the reason I gave him $100 million is because we have a great team. We got a great defense. And with Kirk, we got a great offense. And guess what? If Kirk goes down, we'll still have that great offense. Will we not? So where's the problem? Third point, right?
I tell you what the problem is before you go to your third point.
I can tell you
the problem is what everybody else got a problem with, and that's the ACL injuries. But at the end of the day, injuries are a part of the game. And as I tell you all the time, Frank Gore played 17 years with 2 torn ACLs, and he was only 5'9", and he played one of the most punishing positions in the league at running back. So, I mean, forget all that ACL because that can happen at any time, any place. And just like Kirk Cousins coming off Achilles, he can just step the wrong way and pop that thing one more time.
Yes.
But go ahead. You
better ask Mike Soroka about that.
Go ahead.
For the Braves fans.
Yes.
You better ask Mike Soroka.
That very same thing that you described happened to Mike Soroka, right? But here's the thing, gentlemen. This has been done before. The Eagles did it with Carson Wentz. The Chiefs did it with Alex Smith. The 49ers did it with Alex Smith. The Ravens did it with Joe Flacco. So I'm sorry. Let me be clear. The Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts. They already had Carson Wentz. And thank God they did, right? Because we see how that turned out.
Right.
Okay. All right. The Chiefs did it with Alex Smith and Mr. Pat Mahomes. That worked out pretty well, did it not?
I got another question for you while you calling out the names. How old was Kurt Warner when he took over for the Rams?
He was late 20s, wasn't he?
Good question. I don't know. Good question.
He was about 28, 29, right?
Who did he take over for? Was it what was the guy's name?
Oh my God.
Trent Green.
Trent Green. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's another one.
Yeah.
That's
so you talk about age. Age shouldn't even be no consideration.
Correct.
As long as you know the system and plug and play, whenever you come in and do your job, age ain't gonna even matter if you winning games or winning playoff games or winning Super Bowl. It's not gonna matter.
Everybody remember the New York Giants. Kurt Warner.
I got a question for Chase and Jack here, right? So we all know Kirk Cousins, his contract is what it is, right? $180 million over 4 years. It's really 2 years, $100 million, right? But how much slack does Kirk get if he struggles year one for the Falcons? Are the Falcons already thinking, okay, this succession plan now in place? Year two, we go with Penix, or do we allow Kirk Cousins to really go through the ringer and give Penix the allotted time, a la what the Packers did with Jordan Love, to get right and make the most impact when it is his time to shine? I defer to you guys.
Chase, you might want to answer before me because I'm gonna go off in a second. But
I'm gonna go off.
Love it. Let's go.
So I look at it this way, man.
That's that liquor talk.
Michael Penix Jr. ranked number 2 on draft board for a reason. Okay, if it wasn't for the fact that he went to the Atlanta Falcons, if the Las Vegas Raiders traded up to number 8, he's a starter day one in the NFL. You know, Michael Penix Jr., the only player to ever go over 4,000 passing yards, breaking the school record. Voted offensive MVP by his school in 2022. Number 1 in FBS total offensive yards, 3rd in completions. Michael Penix Jr. is a baller, and he has the best deep ball that anybody has in this draft that beats Drake May and Caleb Williams in my book. Precision, accuracy. I believe Kirk Cousins is safe. Kirk Cousins has to come in and do his job, do what Kirk Cousins has done his whole career. If the Kirk Cousins gets us over the hump and gets us to the playoffs, he can afford to lose in round 1, I believe, and he'll still start next year. Just the fact that the Atlanta Falcons haven't been to the playoffs since 2017, just to see us back on top of the NFC South, back in the playoffs, possibly a playoff game at home. Fans are in love with Kirk Cousins, and they're ready for year 2 with possibly more weapons. I don't think Kirk Cousins has anything to worry about now. If he was to go down, I think Penix is ready to step up and take that role. They're kind of a mirror quarterback there. Kirk Cousins has already said it's going to be a smooth transition for Penix when he takes the ring here in Atlanta. So it's going to be.
I'm sorry, Chase. I don't mean to cut you off. When you say that, we got to let the fans know too. 11 personnel was heavily ran in Washington. It's kind of what we're going to get here in Atlanta now. There's a semblance there. So that's what he means by a smooth transition for those that don't know. But please continue.
And just to finish it up, just to wrap it up here, it's about the aggression the Atlanta Falcons want to take here. If the Atlanta Falcons truly believe that we are a win now team, you may not see Kirk Cousins get 2 years to get this thing together. He may only have this 1 year, and Michael Penix Jr. may be the succession plan that they have for next year. If you're not going to be a top 10 next year, then Kirk Cousins is definitely the quarterback to roll on. But I'll pass it on to Jack.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, but before we go on,
we
go on, Jack, gonna give a birthday shout out to that one Falcon fan, man.
Yeah,
Day of
man.
birthday. Y'all give him a shout out in the chat. Happy birthday, man.
Big shout out that one.
Happy
Hey,
birthday.
please go subscribe to his channel as well. That one Falcon fan.
And I'm gonna ask
Jack,
a question after you go, Jack.
Yeah, so I mean, just going off of what Chase said too as well. And good answer to Chase, because I mean,
Right.
I know Falcon fans here in Atlanta, you know, they was kind of upset about the amount that we paid Kirk, and then we went ahead and selected a quarterback in the draft. Some fans, but then fans like myself, we kind of see the vision for what the team is getting ready to do, and their succession plan, and I'm all for it. Now, for this season, I'm watching the Rams game and the Rams-Lions game right here on the NFL Network. Rams are 10-7, Lions 12-5. So the Falcons get anywhere around those two records. I mean, there's no bench Kirk moment, right? There's no sit him down type moment. And looking at the schedule this year that we're going to talk about in a couple minutes, I see probably maybe, 3 or 4 losses at best on that schedule. Otherwise than that, it's like it's a takeoff run. You can go ahead and get to the playoffs. And I want to see, I keep saying on our podcast, I want to see this team week 13, 14 know that they're going to the playoffs. I don't need to see this team has to lose week 15 and this team has to lose week 16 and we got to win. I'm tired of that shit.
Yeah, Kirk all that outside of help.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins should be the guy that should get you over the hump of where you need to be by at least week 10, week 11, week 12, where you're talking as a Falcon fan, like how it was in 2016. They keep talking about in 2016. Well, in 2016, I knew I was going to the playoffs by week 13. I knew that shit. I knew that this team was destined for greatness. And I want to see that happen again. But I'm also from Atlanta. And I know this fan base and I know this city. And you have a guy named Michael Penix, who's a rookie. And the moment Kirk Cousins mess up here in Atlanta, they're not going to hesitate to yell and scream out Michael Penix's name. Now, does that shift what the coaching staff is going to do because the fans are yelling for Michael Penix after a pick? No, it shouldn't. But this is a win now league, and I don't talk about the negatives on one time for the fan, even though they do happen from time to time. But I don't want to see the negative from Kirk. I don't have a negative bone in my body to say that Kirk's going to come out here and slump it up this year and the backups coming in and Terry's job's on the line. I don't want none of that shit. I want to make the playoffs. I want to go win. So I'm all for Kirk completing this season 100% and getting us to the playoffs, winning the division. And then when it gets to the time of putting Michael Penix in down the line, then that happens. But I do think, as you're watching the NFL, I mean, Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford, Pat Mahomes, there are some times when they have to step out for a player or two. So Penix might get in this year. Like, it's not about him just sitting on the bench for 2 years. I can see it. Like Chase, like your boy Phillip says, if it's 35-10 in the fourth quarter, why is Kirk Cousins in the game anyways? 35-10 in the fourth quarter. Put Michael Penix in. Give him some time to, get familiar with the system, and of course in a real game, not preseason, but in a real game, regular season, so that way fans can see that this kid can play. But I'm all for Kirk Cousins finishing the season healthy, not worried about Michael Penix coming in and taking his job in week 7 or week 8. I don't see that happening unless there's an injury. I don't even want an injury to be happening. I don't even want to mention injury on our podcast. I need players healthy. But that's just my take on Kirk Cousins. I think he's safe. He played good. Team is looking good on the field and off the field. You're winning. That's the locker room mentality right now. Communication, energy, outrun the South, winning. Why are we talking about losing? Shouldn't even be a loss. Right. They're gonna win. No. They're gonna win big this year. I'm all for it.
And I'm gonna need more than just what's down here in this comment from Carl Thomas, me personally. I need more than just the playoffs from Kirk Cousins, because we brought him here for more than just a playoff victory. We brought him here for more than just a title, a division title. He's here to take us to the Super Bowl and to win it. There's no other reason why he's here. And great points by Chase and Jack, man. Wonderful points by really everybody on the panel. But the thing about it is too, Kirk Cousins never had anybody behind him with the talent that Michael Penix has. let's think about all those years with the Minnesota Vikings. He never had nobody to put no fire under his ass anyway.
Yeah, same for Matt when he was here in Atlanta. I mean,
exactly.
they never even went to go get a backup quarterback.
Which is exactly going into my point, which is actually why this topic that we're on, should Kirk feel threatened, is great at the same time, because he never did have anybody, like I said, with Michael Penix behind him. So do you guys think in the back of his mind, just going through this, knowing that, hey, if I do mess up, it is going to be somebody behind me that could step in, and I may not get my job back anymore. It could be the Falcon fans calling for Michael Penix, because let's not act like Kirk Cousins is just the perfect quarterback, as no quarterback is. But let's talk about some of those games during the past to where we've seen, as Falcon fans on the outside looking in, Kirk Cousins having a terrible game. Kirk Cousins having those games to where he throwing 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, those type of games. He never had anybody like Michael Penix behind him that the team could even scold for. So with that being said,
I do
we have somebody.
Washington's fan base and Minnesota's fan base is nothing like the Falcons fan base.
Exactly.
Like, totally
different. We
totally
have
different.
somebody behind Kirk Cousins that could come in and he possibly not even see his job anymore.
Yeah.
So with those things, with those things that I just added, should Kirk really feel threatened by Penix?
You might have just gave the fan base something more to think about, fam. You might have. But
with the last 2 years in the quarterbacks, with the last 2 years in the quarterbacks, we've had anybody that steps onto the field at quarterback should be worried, because we just not gonna go through that again as fans. And as a front office, they shouldn't want to see that either.
Just to add,
I'll tell you how I look at it.
What I don't want to see in Atlanta. What I don't want to see in Atlanta is Kirk Cousins comes out and he has a game where he has 1 touchdown, and as Chris is saying, with the two interceptions, and then it's 1 game, and fans are already calling for a rookie in Michael Penix Jr. because we've seen it happen. Yes, Desmond Ridder gave us terrible play here in Atlanta. It wasn't like it was great play, but it was 1 or 2 games, and we were calling for Taylor Heineke to be out on the field. No, but I can't deny it. It was by week 4, I was calling for Taylor Heineke to be out on the field. Do I believe Kirk Cousins will be anywhere near that type of line of play? No, you didn't pay him to come in and play that type of play. But I don't want to see 1 or 2 bad games, because even the best of pros have bad games when it comes to the NFL.
Yeah,
we'll flip it to T. Will and let T. Will finish this segment before we move on. I'm sorry, Jack. Did you have something?
No. I'm just saying. Just to piggyback off Chase, Kirk is a trusted starter. I think they brought him in to say, we're not planning on benching you week 10, week 11. You can have 13 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. We're not going to bench you. Like, you're good. You know what I'm saying? You're a proven starter. Compared to a Mariota Desmond Ridder situation, it's like, bruh, we got to talk about this, you know? But T. Will?
Yeah. I think Kirk will be fine. You know, like you say, he went through this with RG3, and RG3 was the existing candidate. He was the big man on campus. And you know what Kirk did? He came in there, played well, took over, kept his head down, kept doing what he needed to do. Guys, we've all played this game before. There are guys that respond to pressure, and there are guys that don't. There are guys that actually play better when the pressure's on. I've played with guys. I played with guys during the regular season. They were just okay, and we get to the playoffs, and they're superstars, and you're like, where was this the entire time? So I think Kirk will be fine. I think it's really about the mindset and the way that you look at it, where some people may see a threat. Other people will say, hey, no, I'm going to come out and shine. Okay, you want to draft Penix? Watch this. Penix may ride the pine the entire 4 years. And guess what? If we get 2 Super Bowls in the next 4 years, is anybody going to care? Is it going to be a big game?
Michael Penix.
And the part that they have to think about,
he'll have 2 rings.
About too with Kirk Cousins. I think most of his success is going to depend on how he utilizes his weapons. And what I mean by that, if you utilize Kyle Pitts properly, opening up the middle of the field, which opens up the running lanes for Bijan Robinson, which makes your job easier. If you can do that, I think it's a recipe for, a deep playoff run. Because guess what? If they can't stop that dynamic running back, they damn sure not going to stop Kyle Pitts, Drake London, or any of those receivers. So at the end of the day, if he utilizes his weapons correctly, we won't even be talking about this down the road.
Correct.
And just
And for the record,
Mhm.
if RG3 never got injured, Kirk Cousins never would have seen the field.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
Valid.
Just
That
want to
is
throw.
true.
Sorry.
Just want to throw another little quick.
Being
Sorry.
real,
talking point in
being
there.
factual.
That's true. That's true.
I think the one person in the
ahead,
organization
Jack.
who's looking at their future is not Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix. Is Terry Fontenot.
Amen.
I mean, Terry's going into this. I mean, that deal that he went in with Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is gone. So Terry's got to make sure that this year is good. You don't want to be going into that last week when you're 2 games behind and you got to make it. Like I said, you got this team got to win and this team got to lose. You don't want that shit week 14, Terry.
No, you
Like
don't.
you got to make sure this is now. You selected Michael Penix and you. I mean, you had a terrific draft class outside of the whole Penix the debacle with the media and shit. But outside of that, you have to hit. This is a home run year this year for Terry. They're talking about not picking in the top 10 or 15 or 20 next year. Well, that sounds like a playoff team to me. And Terry knows that. I mean, his job is on the line too as well. You know,
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, Jack, because if I'm a GM and I know I got one shot to do this thing, I'm gonna take the biggest risk I can find that I know gonna pay off. And I think that's what he did.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And for us at One Time for the Fan, we don't like to talk about certain negative things because we like to bring a lot of positivity to the fans, right? And even on our channel, we know that Terry's job is on the line, and I think Falcon fans need to know that too as well. Because at the end of the day, I mean, this is this last year of that contract, right? It was the 4-year deal, right? So this is a situation where, I mean, week 6, week 7, if you're winning and you're winning by 2-3 games, that extension is probably coming. You're probably gonna hear some big news happening with the Falcons during the season with Terry. But let's just say you're not at that point, week 10, week 11. I mean, it could be a new GM next year, which I hope we don't have. You know, I'm all for what Terry and Raheem.
I think Terry's done too good, man. He's been.
But the thing before the season, I want to hear something about them.
He's had to make a lot of
the season.
Important decisions. For this Falcons team to be at what we think is going to be as competitive for years to come. Let's remind them. The Julio trade, the Matt Ryan trade,
the cap room too as well.
The cap room,
the offseason moves they made, the draft picks, all Terry's moves that he made. I'm all for keeping him here. First of all, changing around that whole cap room. That's an automatic.
That's alone.
Automatic.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
That should have been the extension right there. Like the first year you came in, you changed the salary cap, bro. That's a 3-year extension right there. Come on, let's get it
off the bat.
Yeah, and think about it too.
This year was very exciting for us.
He set himself up and the team up for the next 5 years. That's why I think his job is safe no matter what happens this year.
I lost 2 fan favorites, but if it can get me a Super Bowl from it, I'm all for it.
Oh yeah.
It's all about the logo, baby.
Yep.
Go ahead,
at the end of the day.
So, a lot of great insight, folks. And if you like what you're hearing, man, please visit the platforms that are on here. One Time for the Fan, Dirty Fanatics United, T. Will, of course, with One Time for the Fan, man. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Help these gentlemen to their goals of 1,000, which they're all currently almost there. So, man, we're going to continue with this, man, and it's going to springboard us now into our next topic. So much, the word success has been thrown around a lot within Atlanta, but we're going into this 2024 season with really 2 brand new signal callers, right, on offense and defense. So my question to you, the fan base, the guys, everybody that's watching, folks in the chat, what is going to dictate the 2024 success for these Atlanta Falcons? Is it going to be a team known for more of its offense or more known for its defense? Last year, you could have said that it was known for its defense. The Falcons finished with a top 10 or top 11 defense ranked in the NFL. Of course, Ryan Nielsen was here. Exit him, enter Jimmy Lake, first-time signal caller. Was with Raheem Morris in L.A. last year, so he knows a lot of the reins of what Coach Rob wants out of this defense. But this defense now is trotting out one of the youngest defensive units up front, where the average age is about 24, 25 years of age. And we saw what, Coach Raheem was able to do with a pair of rookies last year. That's like synonymous across the league, Bryant Young and Kobe Turner. Fast forward to now, Braylon Trice comes into town. Rook Oro comes into town, and that guy, Brandon Dorless, as well. But besides the names, what is the Falcons going to be known for in 2024? Is it the offensive impact or the defensive impact? I leave it up to you guys. What do you guys say?
I think it's going to have to be the offense because, like I said, the offense is going to be key. And the reason why I keep saying that is because you have to look at what they did last year, just scoring 19 points a game. That's not going to get it in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a quarterback that can put up possibly 27 and 30 points a game any given Sunday if everything is flowing right offensively. The offense maneuvering like they should is going to make it easier on the defense not being on the field a lot, which make it easy to get off the field on third down, something we've struggled with mightily in the past. So I think the offensive succession is probably going to be the key to this team taking it to the next level. So if I'm thinking next year, well, this coming year, it's got to be offense, nothing else. Especially with
Let me say something real quick. I'm sorry. Let me say something real quick. And this is to you, Smitty. I'm going to ask you this. Do you not feel like there's some sort of balance that needs to be had? Because you got to leave enough room for error because there's 2 first-year play callers. We can't expect, the stars and all that shiny stuff from Zach Robinson, nor could we expect that from Jimmy Lake. So you feel confident that it needs to be the offense? And if so, that's putting a lot of pressure on a first-year play caller.
Agreed. And to be honest, and I've told you this a couple times, I think this is where Raheem Morris comes in. A guy that can coach both sides of the football to make sure the entire team is clicking on one cylinder. Like you said, the 2 young guys at the coordinator positions, this is where Raheem Morris is going to have to put his blueprint on the team. When you got Zach Robinson struggling to call plays, you got to reach out to Jerry Gray, help him pick it up. When you see Jimmy Lake struggling on defense to call the proper plays, this is where you have to step in, and this is where Jerry Gray has to step in. Offensively, he, like I said, he's coached the receivers, he's probably coached quarterbacks, but he's also put 17, 18 quarterback coaches on his team. So when one of those guys break down, the other coaching staff is going to have to pick up the slack. Point blank, period.
Facts. Rook. Well, you wanted to go, Jeff?
No, it's on you, A1.
Oh, sure. Now I was just going to say, man, a few other things, man. I agree about the offense, and a reason why, going to like Smitty said about the points per game, this is an offensive driven league. You're going to have to put up points. You're going to have to score. Secondly, we have a 4-year, $180 million investment that we have to protect. So I'm looking at you, offensive line, to keep Kirk Cousins upright, to keep him safe and secure, so we can be able to score those points and get to that possibly 27 or 30 points per game. Then also what I also need is I need for defenses in the fourth quarter to be very, very scared to see Tyler Algiers. Yes. I want to see Tyler Algiers in that fourth quarter. Why? Because we're up and we can also walk our leads down. We can go ahead and kill the clock. Go ahead and give them smash mouth Tyler Algier, our bowling ball. You can throw some Bijan in there. You can even throw some Jason there if you want to. Get him some rookie touches. I'm cool with that. But if you give the run game their shine, it can also help protect Kirk Cousins, his Achilles, our investment, everything. So that's why I say the offense. It's gonna be tough on Zach. I understand, first year coordinator. It's gonna be the same thing for Jimmy. You don't think Jimmy got big shoes to fill? We was pretty much a top 10, top 15 defense last year. We can't go backwards. But I still give it to the offense just because of the investment and the talent that's on the offensive side of the ball. And we got to put up points. We got to be able to give fourth quarter. If we execute properly, I believe we're going to see a lot of run game in the fourth quarter to protect Kirk Cousins and our investment.
Quick Waffle House take here. Falcon fans in the chat, once again, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We over here talking Falcons football, y'all. It's getting real here in the chat. Stick on those numbers right there. You said, Chris, top 10, top 15 defense. Smitty, you talked about the offense. I'm going to go ahead and say balance, man. Like on both sides of the ball, top 10 offense, top 10 defense. Why can you not have that? Look at Kirk Cousins' numbers. If he's throwing for 4,500 yards this year with 30-some touchdowns and less than 10 interceptions, that better be a top 10 offense. And if it's not, well, what the hell is the defense doing? But then again, you got to look at the defense side of the ball. Why would we take a step back? But what we have, we still have all-pro Jesse Bates back there. We have A.J. Terrell. We have Grady Jarrett. We still have Caden Ellis. We still have Nate Landman. We have David Amiata. And then we added some beasts along that defensive line. Every fan is going to be – every team's going to have a fan that's going to, try to big up their team, like, you know, they're going to be the greatest team this year. But what the Falcons are doing, they are really showing improvements every single year. From the year when they didn't have the cap, after they let go of Matt Ryan, to Mariota and bringing in a bunch of one-year deal guys. And you saw what happened with D. Alford, how he's been here now, and Zoe Carter, what he's getting ready to do, D'Angelo Malone, Arnold Epicadi, Kyle Pitts, some of the players that they drafted. So I can see that it's going to be on both sides of the ball. Balance. You're going to run the ball more because you're going to help out with Kurt. And the defense is going to be playing lights out, 3 and out off the field. But yeah, I don't see us taking a step back here. We got a guy named Kirk Cousins who I've seen the stats, I've seen the numbers, and if you can put up 4,500 yards here, damn, I can't remember the last time we had a 4,500 yard season. If you can put that up here in Atlanta, you got a top 10 offense. And you saw what the defense did last year. I mean, we can shut down some teams. So hopefully they play hand in hand. And when we went to the Super Bowl that year, all 53 players were on the same page. And if you get that this year, you're going to get a top 15, top 10 offense with offense or defense on both sides of the ball. I mean, Chris, you just mentioned the offensive line. You know, you possibly have 2 Hall of Famers possibly on that line. If Chris Lindstrom continues to play this way through the end of his career, that's a Hall of Famer. And Jake Matthews is probably going to be mentioned too as well. So you have some guys on this team that's going to be they're successful on and off the field, and when they're finished with football, they're going to be successful. Let's get them a ring, right? Let's get them a ring.
That's why it's also important, because we're gonna need that production. We're gonna need that familiarity with everybody to be able to click. The only way, as far as like taking a step back, is the reason why I say that, because it's a different philosophy, it's a different voice in the locker room, regardless. I mean, we've already seen how a team can have the same players and then still take a step back. Look at the Eagles defense. Same players.
And one thing, identity is something that we're not mentioning too as well. Like the Falcons had an identity 2 years ago where we will run the ball down your throat. You knew it. We will run the ball 24/7. We were putting up shit ton of yards. Tyler was going crazy. CP was going crazy. But then the year after that, it looks like the run game kind of took a step back with Desmond Ridder, and teams knew that you couldn't pass the ball. Teams knew that if Desmond Ridder threw the ball, what was going to happen? If Taylor threw the ball, what was going to happen? Some way, somehow, there's going to be a bunch of 3 and outs, and there's going to be some interceptions going on.
That thing got so bad, so you could almost really just time his turnover.
You can predict
You can predict the doggone to you. It's like, here it come.
That's what the identity was. The identity was us predicting how bad it could be. Like this year is different. Teams have to come out there and say, hold up. Kirk Cousins can pass. And that running back there, he can run. That defense over there, they're stacked. So teams have to know that the Falcons have an identity. Cool thing about it is we have an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator that's on their first year. And if they do like anything like what Detroit did or Houston did with their first year coordinators, we're back in the playoffs, boys.
Yeah. I like it. Chase, what do you got, Chase?
Yeah, I'll just add on to everything that y'all have talked about. Y'all pretty much nailed it on the head of, dictation of what's going to lead this team to success this year. I'm going to have to say offense. You look at what defense did, top 10 defense. Faces really haven't changed, as Jack stated. Caden Ellis still there on Amada. Grady Jarrett teaching a new rookie and Rook. You got hopefully Calais Campbell for a late return. Who knows? And then obviously that guy, Brian Dolores. I think he is going to be a stud when it comes to this team. Trice also having the chemistry there with Jimmy Lake. And then you look at what the offense did last year. There was too many games where we were a touchdown away from winning a game. You were ranked 30th in the NFL in red zone with Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. That should not even exist in the NFL in this time of period for the Atlanta Falcons at all. Tyler Algier as well in the backfield. You didn't use him as well on the goal line like you should have. To me, the offense has to hit. You scored 18.9 points a game. That's not even 3 touchdowns. You're ranking 1.9 touchdowns a game. That's 26th in the league. Ranking last in damn near every subject on offense. So offense, man, offense has got to get it going this year. And Kirk Cousins, where it starts.
T-Will?
Hey, you guys have all stated it. I think balance is important. But, guys, this offense we have, man, if this thing clicks, put it this way, right? Let's say you had only gotten Rondale Moore, or you had only gotten what's our number 2 guy now?
Darnell Mooney.
Oh, Darnell Mooney.
Let's say you'd only gotten Mooney. You'd have been all right with a couple of also-rans, but you went and got Ray. You got Rondale Moore, who are burners. We're not even talking about them. I think the offense is going to be fine. I think the defense is going to be fine. I agree with Jack. You have to have balance, but I don't see a slowdown, guys. If anything, we may ratchet this thing up because, again, we got a general, man. We got a general. I don't know if you guys ever played for a coach that like just got you riled up, like just got you ready to hit somebody. You don't even know why. You just want to go hit them. That's our coach, right? And not only do we have that, this guy coaches coaches. To answer your question, I think it's both, Berto. But I'm not worried. I'm not. If anything, I think we're going to score 30 points a game because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I'm glad you said that because we've been saying that on the show for a while. The Falcons last year, they played exactly how their coach looked on the sideline. They played with no urgency.
Ugly.
They played with no fight. And it was, it was always a problem. He couldn't even get plays in on time. It was just problem after problem, situation after situation. So now you probably got that coach that knows how to manage games. And like he said, he's learned over the years coaching after leaving here what to do, what not to do. And like I told y'all, man, he had Josh Freeman in Tampa Bay. Josh Freeman had one good year. But after that one good year, it was straight downhill from there. So quarterback position is key.
I mean, for the fans that mentioned it might be too many weapons for Kirk, no, it's too many weapons for an inexperierienced quarterback.
Look at his weapons in Minnesota.
It's
I mean,
Addison,
Justin Jefferson,
perfect for
Dalvin Cook.
That's one of the reasons why he was having that MVP-like season. He had weapons.
But
I mean, if you're going off of a series that we can kind of like predict, like week 1, week 2, you can get Bijan on the 1st and 10. It's going to get you to like a 2nd and 2. Tyler's coming in right behind him. We can get you a first down. They can get you 20, 30 yards before Kurt even throws the ball. Like, and Bijan is that good. Tyler's that good. Like, you've seen it. They're averaging with 3, 4, 5 a carry. Like, come on.
Has Kirk ever had more? Has he ever had more weapons?
If you think about it,
he had
Adam Thielen, Stephen Diggs squad.
Adam Thielen, another one.
I'm saying
Adam
the
Thielen,
volume,
and all them.
No, the volume. I say not as
the
much.
assortment of weapons, right? You got guys coming off the deck.
Right.
I mean, you got Drake.
Right.
He's never had a solid 2 running back system.
You got Tyler.
Right.
You got Kyle. You got Mooney.
Ray.
You got Ray.
Carlos Washington, the rookie to keep an eye on.
Last year he had Justin Jefferson.
Isaiah
TJ Hawkinson came over from Detroit. He made him out of a Pro Bowler. Then people not talking about Jordan Addison, the rookie last year.
Nah,
he had a Pro Bowl type season too. So he had the same amount of weapon that he has right now.
He played. And before the injury,
And before last year, they had Dalvin Cook as well. He's a Bijan Robinson type running back. So he's had the weapons, just not at one time. But last year, I think he had the best weapons that he's had in God knows how long, which is why he threw 18 touchdowns in just 8 games. Imagine
go anywhere with the ball.
We should be undefeated if he throw 18 touchdowns in 8 games. We should be
the
undefeated.
way he was balling last year, he could have threw for 40 touchdowns, possibly.
No, seriously, he was on pace.
Easily,
he was on pace, bro.
And you probably pissed him off a little bit
by bringing in Penix.
By bringing it, so he's gonna be hella motivated.
Be motivated. That's what I need.
That's what I'm saying.
I want rings. I don't care about none of your feelings or nothing. Our feelings been hurt for years and all this stuff. So we honestly, Atlanta fans, we really don't care about no feelings and stuff like that.
Well, I'm gonna hurt you, Chris. I love you to death, but I gotta say this real quick. I'm gonna reel this back real quick. I gotta open your eye, you guys' eyes to something right quick. Sometimes it's the little intricacies that we miss, right? And I've been wanting to call things out. You know what I mean, Kirk Cousins.
Shit.
God, not the thing.
I'm gonna call this one. I think the Falcons this year will have a top 15 offense and a top, I'd say 7 to 8 defense. And here's why. Ready? Offensive speaking, what chemistry is there other than Kirk Cousins and Zach Robinson?
There is none.
Right? That's a key thing because that's going to take time to mature. The success is not going to be overnight with that one.
Nope.
We can talk about all the additions. We can talk about the Bijans and the Kyles and the Drake, but it's putting it all together and formulating that plan on the field. That's going to take time. The reason why I'm talking defense is because I'm a defensive guy at heart, and I feel like there's more chemistry on the defensive side of ball. You know, you bring over Jimmy Lake that's worked with Coach Raheem, and you've already are stealing from a page that led to what succession for the Rams defense last year, bringing in these 3 dogs on defense. So you already know that the Falcons are coming heavy on defense, whether it's via blitz or just straight up hand on the dirt lineup, one-on-one. I'm beating your lineman's ass. Stop me from coming in this pass rush. That's the attitude I think the Falcons are going to bring next year. I think that's the reason why this Falcons will be known next year as a defensive planted team versus that offensive explosion that we're all kind of just wishing and hoping for, right? There's so many great pieces that we have on offense. I mentioned Bijan, Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, right? We talked about not having a sturdy number 2. Chase, this is to you, my friend, because you brought up a guy in Casey Washington, which I'll be talking about tomorrow as well. That's a sleeper pick there, but you got Darnell Mooney as well. These pieces all have to come together first before we can talk any realistic outputage out on offense. I think, again, I'm going to go back to it, man. I think defense is going to be the calling card for this Falcons team in 2024, with the Falcons offense clicking at the right time once this offense matures 100%, man. And that's my piece.
The 2016 season as well. I mean, there was games we lost to the Buccaneers week 1. The year we went to the Super Bowl, we lost to the Bucs week 1. And then you look at as the year went on, everything just clicked. The team was playing together. Matt Ryan, the first quarterback to have numerous touchdown targets to every receiver on the squad. So I mean, it like 100% with your point there, Berto. It's all got to job up, and that's one thing Kirk said numerous times in his press conference that he can't wait to get the chemistry started. Hitting up Kyle Pitts, Drake London on his ride into Atlanta. So definitely training camp is going to be something fun to watch, man.
Facts. Let's get this super chat in right quick. Before you go let's get this super chat in and say, what's up, JJ the Great? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the $4.99. Say first live I've called in a minute. Happy I did. We got a super team on the pound of the night. Rise up. Appreciate you coming through, JJ.
So,
but Chris, go ahead, man.
What do y'all do with the Superman chats? I mean, I know Country does like the which I got going on.
There's only one low, man. We can't mimic. We butcher the hell out of that.
Only one low, brother. That's why we just let him have that. We appreciate the super chat
and Uncle Steve too. Uncle Steve, they got that on lock, bro.
Maybe we can come up with a song and dance, fellas.
Got to do something, man.
I can't dance. I'm just shit out of luck.
Does anybody know who Mr. Richard Pierce is? He says, funny how y'all are now praising the pick. I said it when it happened. It was a good pick.
What do you mean now?
If you watch draft night, what we were doing, you would know, and Jack can tell you because he picking at me on Twitter saying I was at Six Flags. You know that
Smitty was happy right off the bat. It took me a few seconds for my wheels to turn.
Smitty right there.
Yeah.
Let him on the ride.
We had just talked about it too. That was so funny.
If you watch my channel, you will see that I put out a video of the 3 reasons why he made sense at number 8, long before the pick even crossed the board. So one thing about that, if you watch any of our channels, we're gonna give y'all clues and hints as to what we feel and why we feel a certain way. So we never just not praise nobody. We just talk about every single aspect of Falcon football that we can. So we don't discredit nobody.
Somebody else that I know me and Berto mentioned. Berto, me and you be having some of the similar picks. I've been noticing that, man. You better stop cheating off my notepad.
Wow. That's my ballsy of you to say, young man.
I know for one time with the fan.
I think I'm the more accredited one on the panel, so shout out to you.
He is 2 for 2. I mean, he just called it out before he mentioned the topic too as well. He had to throw it in there that he is 2 for 2. For the Michael Penix pick on our channel, we were shocked. We had Penix on our draft board. Like you have to have a draft board of all those players. Like you can't be upset about a guy if you didn't get him because you might be only focused on that one guy. We kept saying it on our podcast. Don't put your eggs in one basket for a player. You got to do your homework to say if they selected a wide receiver, Why did they do that? If they would have selected Dallas Turner, why did they do that? So you had to make a list of players that you knew the Falcons could select. We were shocked, but I ain't had no problem with it. I'm good.
No, me neither. Look, I was shocked just because I was under the impression we could probably trade up and get him later. I did not know that there was all of these 3 or 4 teams trying to trade up to get him. So I was shocked, but I wasn't upset about it. I mean, it probably took me a day to really go home and think about it and digest it. But yeah, initially I was shocked. I mean, I think most of us were. Well, with the exception of Berto Damas. Berto, your new name is Berto Damas. That's what we call you on the show.
Berto called me that day too.
So, hey, y'all remember in the mock draft?
I told you I was gonna call you.
Please, please don't start that. Please don't start that.
Berto's chose violence to pass.
Berto Damas, man.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, I'll get back at you guys when the season ends and we end up in the ranking that I said offensive and defensively. And guys like my boy right here, Tony Wright, it's like he just said, "Yeah, Berto looked at my comment after commenting regarding our defense." Man, I wasn't copying you.
Shit.
Shout out to Tony.
Who we playing in the Super Bowl, Berto? If we're going that far, I mean,
probably the
Chiefs.
Damn, probably the Chiefs.
Berto, do you do the winning cash 3 numbers?
Shit.
I wish, bro. I'm over here trying to make
the hell with the cash 3. What's the Powerball number?
For real. Well, speaking of Powerball and all those blessings and stuff like that, man, comes this next topic here. And, with the schedule release coming out pretty soon, man, how many primetime games should the Falcons brace themselves for? Uh-oh, that's Magic City Berto. Shout out to you,
Magic City Berto.
I like that. I got to use that. But yes. Schedule release coming out supposedly this week. You know that, teams do leak some of the games and times and dates and stuff like that. So how many games are you guys anticipating the Falcons having a primetime game? Jack, I think the last time I was on your show, we spoke about this, and it was actually 2017 was the last primetime show the Falcons had on air against the Eagles in that Julio Jones walk-off. Because I'll be honest with you guys on the panel and folks in the chat, I don't consider Thursday night games primetime games, man, because it's just there's no lore or luster to a Thursday night game, man.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go 2. And I think Minnesota is going to be one just because of the turmoil they done put behind it. And Kansas City is going to be the other to see where we match up against some of the best. And I think that's going to be a Sunday night game. So those will be my 2 games that I would be looking for to be primetime game.
I love it. Jack, you belong to a very prestigious fan club, which I'm, finally am proud of being there myself. The Rise Up tour, man. So, bro, please take as much time giving us your thoughts on that and also promoting that fantastic outlet there too.
We love these. We love when the schedule releases like a holiday to us over there at the Rise Up Tour Fan Club.
It is coming out later this week.
It's very much so possible. The way I'm looking at it, it's Monday. They haven't said nothing about it. I see it probably happening next week, Thursday, because the NFL has to drop their, the coverage of it on the NFL Network. Normally, it happens the second week in May, but if it happens this week, we're all for it. But I do think the Falcons, wink, wink, are going to have a primetime game this year. I think they're probably going to have 2 primetime games this year. So for fans that want to see the Falcons play, at night in the bins, it's possible that it's going to happen. I think it's going to be probably 1 home and 1 away. You got a new head coach. You got a new $100 million quarterback. Even with Michael Penix's pick, there might be a game where they'll say, "Oh, maybe they'll put him in on primetime." Nah, I probably won't. So, the NFL wants to see a new flashy Falcons, right? So I think that's going to happen. For fans that's traveling this year, we have the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. For anybody who wants to be a part of it, it's a unique fan club of Falcon fans who love to travel to away games. And, of course, we got Vegas, Philly, Denver, Minnesota, Washington, and our rivals, too, as well in the division. But it's going to be great this year, but I do see the Falcons having a couple primetime games. Yeah, it's probably going to be, if I'm going to go out and take a guess, that Minnesota game holds weight to Kirk going back to Minnesota. But then again, Minnesota, Kirk Cousins versus Sam Darnold, that's a tough Sunday night.
JJ McCarthy.
Shit, Chase.
Oh, My goodness.
That's what it
Well,
would
if
have
it
to
happens, it's possible. But then again,
Too
we
early
got
of a pick. He's
we got a
going-
couple other. We got Jaden Daniels. We got to play. We got to play a rookie. But I see the Ben's home game could probably be against the Steelers, Chiefs, or the Cowboys, because they're going to
The
be
Cowboy definitely gonna be a home game. It's time.
Cowboys. Yeah, I can see that as a prime time easily because that's a game where Jerry Jones, Arthur Blank, that ownership too as well. Then you have the team, which is just built off of kind of like that outside of the division rivalry where they kind of hit each other. But Cowboys fans, they travel well, but Falcon fans, we're traveling well too as well. So. Yeah, man, primetime game's gonna be lit this year. Can't wait for the schedule release.
And while we keep bringing up the devil, man, our boy Big Low Country done stopped through, man. Drop off some catfish and grits. Y'all please go check out Big Low Country Sports on YouTube. He's always doing his thing, man. He went viral with his reaction.
That's the tribal chief, man.
Sheesh, he was just on Good Morning America, wasn't he?
200,000, damn near 300,000.
Right.
So y'all go check him out. Shout out to yeah. He was actually I think he was in the club with Quavo and Julio not too long ago.
Hey man,
but
he riding for Drake too?
Could have been. But
BBO Drizzy.
But y'all go check out Big Low Country Sports, man.
Drizzy fans are hurt right now, man.
He's doing his thing. Shout out to Big Low and GM Ronnie, man. They always doing their thing, man. Love what they do. Company duo, man, and they sang at wedding. So if y'all want to book a show at the wedding, hey, they do that too. So hit Big Low up in his DM, and he'll give y'all the prices.
We're gonna get Cliffy to sing at one of these road game parties this year.
He says
he's
injured. Man, I like it, man. Hey, I got one to bring up right here. And Chase, my guy, I want you to please just talk on this, and I'll piggyback off of you because I think you and I see the worth and value in this young man, our 6th round pick, Casey Washington. So talk to folks, man. Gap Boy with the question. What are your thoughts on Casey Washington? In my opinion, could be wide receiver number 2. Talk to him, Chase.
Casey Washington, man. Even if it's not receiver 2, I think you see Casey Washington pick up in the slot spot this year. If Darnell Mooney is your solid receiver number 2 and produces like he could the year before Justin Fields, or not before Justin Fields, DJ Moore, I believe Darnell Mooney could be the solid receiver 2. But Casey Washington, man, a sleeper pick, kind of reminds me of the Roddy White pick back in the day. Comes from the smaller school. Smaller, always under recruited back in high school. He played in a high school run heavy offense and still made it seem somehow get through the loop and made it to college and gets picked up here in the later rounds by the Atlanta Falcons. Just a sleeper guy. I think his chip is definitely on his shoulder. He's coming into a receiver room that's not very deep. And I think the speed along, you're missing the Scotty Miller this year. You no longer have that speedster other than Darnell Mooney. You got Ray McLeod, which is more of a special teams, I'd say. But man, Casey Washington's got the burners and he's got the height. And to me, man, it's just a faster Drake London. The guy's got the rebound catches. He can go up and grab the ball. Casey Washington, I got to watch, man.
I love watching Casey Washington's tape, man. 6'1", 200+ pounds, man. Ran a 4.47. Wasn't invited to the combine. 39-inch vertical leap as well. Watching the tape, watching how this kid maneuvers in traffic, how he catches the ball, his body control, reminded me a lot of a young Jarvis Landry when he was coming in the league, man. Just at a bigger height and pace. He does have deceptive speed. He could, really etch his footing as wide receiver number 2. And we don't know if Darnell Mooney's gonna, eventually be the solid number 2. Got to remember Kyle Pitts is probably gonna take up a lot of those looks, man. So it's a toss up. It's a real toss up right there. But after the toss up,
I go a little bit deeper than that, Berto.
I think he could really, stamp his name in this offense, man, going forward.
I go a little bit deeper than that. I think he can be this year for Kirk Cousins, KJ Osborne. That's the way he had in Minnesota. Same type build, same. He plays his game pretty much the same as KJ Osborne. So I can see him, and I think Mooney would be fine. Rondale Moore, like somebody said in chat, we didn't talk about him, but I think Rondale Moore is going to be type of a gadget guy. He's going to be a Taylor Gabriel of this whole offense. So I can see Casey Washington making a difference because somebody got to step up for that number 2 spot.
Yeah, and looking at the Casey Washington situation right now, I have him as the 4.
Yeah.
What they paid Mooney, if you put him at 3 or 4, it's like, why'd you just pay this guy this?
If you get beat out, you get beat out.
If it is true that if you get beat out, you get beat out. I do look at the contract though, and it's like, why would you pay him this? if he was going to go draft a guy or even bring in Rondale Moore that can easily take his spot. That to have Rondale Moore as your fourth receiver getting paid what he's getting paid is like, bruh, why are you on the team? Like, we can take a 3-4 receiver and another cornerback with that money. But then again, I'm not the Falcons. I'm not the Falcons. But Casey Washington, I seen his tape, and the kid he's nice. I think it was a 6-foot receiver. Hit a 39.5 vert too as well. They said he's good in one-on-ones.
That change too, man.
That's what you need. You need a chain mover because Kirk Cousins. We're going back to Kirk Cousins, the type of quarterback he is. Washington should eat if he is the 2, the 3, wherever he is. Washington should eat because of
strong enough hands,
Cousins hands, the ability to beat one-on-one defenders too as well. I mean, I saw that, and you can't really play too much man when you got Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London. They don't know what the fuck to do. Most defenses. So now Casey Washington fits into the pick. And then what's the other guy that we were talking about the other night? Berto, the undrafted guy.
Isaiah Jackson.
Chris, what's the name, Chris?
Oh, I was going Isaiah Wooten.
Isaiah Wooten.
Wooten. Yeah. Okay, that's another one. Yep.
When this kid hits the field, that might be that D. Alford moment right there. Because I'm hearing this kid is fantastic.
Wooten is bedtime. I'm trying to tell you, he putting your boys to sleep.
And your boys on Birdcage the other night was like, he's on the 53.
Bro,
if you see him out there. So it's like, where are you going to put these receivers? Like,
he gets off the line and he takes off, man. I ain't going to lie. It's on the tape. Look at him. I don't have Hodge in that
top 4 range, so I see his Washington, Mooney, Rondale. Drake is good. Drake's great.
Jack, I got a stat for you about Washington, brother. 700 catches with only 3 drop passes.
700 catches, only 3 drop passes?
That's the stat.
Damn. That boy's eating. And the quarterback, too, as well, is in our quarterback room right now, right? The undrafted. Yeah.
Yep.
Who probably be taking over for Taylor Heineke in a little bit. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That's the good thing about having these panels. We all have different opinions about what could happen with the player and with the team and so forth. Some sees Casey as a 2 or 3. Some can see him as maybe he's a depth guy, special teams guy, but not with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins gonna make sure you eat. He gonna look at you on the sideline and say, "Did you catch the ball yet? All right, come on, get in the game. We're gonna catch the ball too." Like that's the type of person Kirk is. So I'm all for it. Now, Desmond was the quarterback. I don't know. I can't tell you.
Don't you dare bring that name, bro. You're going to hurt feelings.
Yards. Can't tell you.
Here we go.
Lord,
but before we move on, man, our boy Chase got a roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our boy Chase got a roll.
Talking shit.
But Chase, man, thank you for coming through as always, man. We always appreciate you coming on the show talking Falcon football. Before you go, you know what to do, man. Tell us where to find you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite once again, man. Shout out to Berto, Smitty, Jack, Chris, Terry, man, or T. Willis. It's been a pleasure, man, to come on here and talk Falcon football. You can catch me at Dirty Fanatics United, man. That's on YouTube, Facebook groups, TikTok. We do free giveaways. Always live Friday night at 8, talking Falcon football with my co-host Philip Sapp, Cody Keeler. Just Falcon fans talking Falcon football, man. Once again, it's your boy Chase. A-Town down. Appreciate it, boys.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Love it, man.
What I'm talking about, man. Hey, if somebody make y'all mad, just say DFU and just keep it moving. But we had a question up, man. Had a great question, man, about which rookie is gonna have the biggest impact. Which rookie will have a chance to make the impact right away? Great question. Let's roll around the room right quick. Starting with Jack, and we're gonna go around.
I'm going with Trice. Seems like a Jimmy Lake guy. There's a reason why they drafted him. He was on a couple people's mocks here. We kept hearing about it after the first day.
He was living on mine.
Yeah, if the Falcons can draft this guy, if they can get this guy. That day 2, day 3 picks, fans were like, all right, you went with Penix round 1, at least get these guys day 2. And you can see the film on Trice. You can go back and watch some of the tape. He's destroying tight ends. Don't even put a tight end on this kid because he's definitely going to beat him. He was destroying 2 tight ends at sometimes, even tight ends and left tackles. The way he gets through those gaps, man, the way he has a skill to him, right? He has technique too as well. He's not just put a head down and just bull rush, get to the quarterback. He got some skill. I like his size too as well for what he is. He's like what, 6'3", around 6'4", around that range.
6'4". He's 6'4", 255, 260.
And he's going to get into that new weight room that the Falcons have over there in Flowery Branch, right? He's going to work with some of the veterans that's been in that room too as well. But he's going to come in that room not even looking like – he doesn't even look like a rookie. Look at his size, bro. He doesn't look like a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So if this guy catches on quickly in this defense, I said it, man. Give us the Panthers week 1. It's going to be crazy. we're talking about this guy's probably going to get I'm going to go ahead and say Trice will have more than 5 sacks this season. That's a good start for a rookie, right? More than 5 sacks to add what can go on. But he's going to disrupt some shit. I'm all for Trice this season. That's my guy.
You talk about disruption, and shout out David Shields in the chat, man. I'm gonna go with the guy that I called, Chris has called as well, man. Brandon Dorless, man. I think he comes into into the right situation here in Atlanta. We all know with Coach Rod got out of Kobe Turner, 3rd-round pick from Wake Forest last year. Similar traits, man. He's a wrecking ball, man. And Brandon Dorless was that at Oregon as well. 5 sacks for the Oregon Ducks last year, man. 3 batted balls down. I think he could come in here and he can double the batted ball situation. He could probably be a rookie that ends up with probably 4 sacks in that interior. And on a year where, Grady's coming back from injury, we don't know how much allotted playing time the Falcons are going to give him. They might put him on a pitch count. We don't know, right? So what a time to, rise to the occasion and really, just take reins or be like, okay, I'm the next guy after Grady's gone. So Brandon Dorless for me will be that guy.
He's a 2-time All-Pro Duck, right? Oregon?
2-time, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jalen Trice as well. I think he makes Lorenzo Carter expendable. And the reason why I say that, he's not a pass rush guy, he's a run stopper. And we need guys that can get after the quarterback. We still have Arnold Ebiketie, true enough, Zach Harrison and those guys, but I just think Braden Trice is in the perfect situation where he can come in and take somebody's spot, because no one has stepped up the last 3-4 years and said, hey, I'm that guy the defense gonna have to worry about. And I think Trice can turn into that guy, and being in Jimmy Washington's system in Washington and knowing it already, that helps him a lot. He doesn't have to go through growing pains. He doesn't have to worry about how the scheme is going to be ran because he already knows. So I just think Braden Trice, I think he's going to be that guy, man.
I know somebody's getting ready to go, but I have a question too as well once you guys are finished, because you keep talking about that system. I'll talk about it in just a second.
Okay.
Go ahead, T. Will.
You guys took mine, so I'm gonna
add on to it.
Just add on to it. Just add on to it.
I mean, for me, it was either gonna be Dorless or Trice. I really like Trice's get off. I like his get off. To me, he seems like he's got a little bend. May need to work on that, but I've seen him get around enough tight ends to say it's there. He's fast as all get out. Dorless to me seems flexible. Now, what's Dorless's weight? And where are they going to play? Are they going to play? They're going to line up on the nose tackle, or are they going to line up?
Well, the thing about Dorless is you can put him anywhere. He's played 44% on edge, 43% at D tackle, and also 13% at nose tackle. He can play anywhere.
I think Rook is like that too as well.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Dorless just because he appears to be flexible, and I've seen him cause some train wrecks in some offenses. So if we're saying first year, if he plays in more areas than other defenders, and if he's more, volatile, then I'm gonna go Dorless. But it's close. It's close with Trice. But I'm gonna go Dorless, and you guys took mine, so there you go.
Yeah, man, Dorless. I believe he's gonna get off because of other guys like Trice. They're gonna have to scheme and plan for him, and I believe it's gonna open the door for Dorless. Can you imagine those guys on the field at the same time? What they're gonna have to worry about once they really get in the groove and really find their way and they stride in the NFL, which hopefully can be, if not the rookie season, the second season, but. I like Dorless. I'm going to stay with my Lawrence. I'm going to stay with Dorless. I think he's going to get off because of other guys. I think a surprise guy would be probably Rook. I'm hoping for that, especially from where we drafted him. But, I believe Dorless can definitely get off because of other guys and his own individual talent.
Let me ask you a question. You think Rook needs to gain maybe 10 pounds? How do you guys feel about that? If you're going to put him opposite nose tackles?
No, I don't think
that's how he is, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't even think that.
People, man, he's gonna shock some folks, man. He really is, man.
What people don't understand about Rook, this dude has raw power, and when I watched his tape and the way it popped off, the way he was beating double teams with one arm, basically, It was just exciting to see and to be around guys like Grady Jerry and David Onyemata who play with that same mean streak. I think that's only going to make him better over time. And during his rookie season, if he comes in and relieves one of those guys, he's going to have fresh legs, and he's probably going to be pushing guys all over the place. And he's probably going to be the key to the run game down the road. So
6'4",
I think he can be a sleeper. Yeah, he can be a sleeper.
Bro.
Hold on, man. I appreciate this comment right here so much, Gat Boy. I agree.
Oh, me too. My goodness.
1,000%.
That's a great point.
Yep.
Great point.
Somebody we were supposed to have, but 49ers wanted to pick him first. Whatever.
Shit, we ended up with Chris Lindstrom, Mike.
I appreciate it. But
I
think we were strictly going Kinlaw in that particular draft if he was there.
Yeah, I think so too. But Jack, you got a question?
I'm happy. Thank you, 49ers. I'm happy because we got.
Yeah, I mean, also a question, but I think I want Falcon fans to just know that Raheem is coming over here and he's building, the system that he wants, and we keep hearing about the system, not only from content creators, but you're hearing it from the coaching, you're hearing it from the organization, from Terry. Remember, they keep talking about that system with Washington. They keep talking about Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. They keep talking about that system in LA. Like, anybody who came with that Kyle Shanahan offense, like they want that in their system. So they keep talking about when I had the private meeting, not the private meeting, it was like a fan meeting with Raheem after he first got hired with the Falcons. And he said that this is not going to be like the Rams system. This is going to be our system. But I kept hearing it for the past couple months, the system. What is the offense going to look like? What is the defense going to look like? I mean, it's going to be a brand new Falcons, but just hearing the system kind of takes you back to where Raheem came from, right? The type of coaches he's been around, right? So I'm watching the Rams game now versus Detroit in the playoffs, and I'm looking at Matthew Stafford drop back where there's no running back in the backfield sometimes, right? He's getting the ball out 3-4 receivers down the field, right? So we're going to see Kurt do some of this stuff that the Rams are doing, right? So what the system is, I mean, we technically don't know because we haven't played the game yet, but it's going to be close to what they had with Shanahan and what they had with Sean McVay and LaFleur. Raheem came from that. Right, he's just going to make Zach Robinson be on a bigger scale of it, right? So they want to get another Super Bowl, and it's going to happen. And I think it's going to happen here in Atlanta.
If he can open up the offense like those guys, it's going to be dangerous. Trust me.
Yeah, because I've constantly heard Shanahan's name come out of Raheem's mouth since he's been a coach for us, like at least 10 times.
Agreed.
Same for McVay, same for LaFleur, same for the Rams. I mean, I understand you came from that still, but you're still talking about it because you're familiar with the system. Mm-hmm. So if he can get these guys to buy into what they had out there in LA, they won a Super Bowl. And like he said in that interview, we knew he was going to win a Super Bowl. That feeling just kind of came over. Like you already knew that he was going to win a Super Bowl. The team was built for it.
Right.
And I see this team built for it. Here. I see this team built for it. You
gotta go one thing we talk about on the show all the time is familiarity.
Yes.
And that's something that they're going to live and die by in Atlanta, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Being familiar with everything. Players.
Kind of the foundation, really, everything. You look at.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
There's certain key words you got to look at: family, system, foundation, communication. Like you said the other day in the meeting, energy. Like they have different themes for their meetings. And I mean, all coaches going to come in here and try to pump the fan base up. But Raheem, like you said, Terry, T-Will, Raheem kind of gives you that feeling when he talks, boy, you want to go put the football pads on and go play. Like,
absolutely.
I'm ready to go.
Don't forget collective.
Yeah.
Come on,
another word.
Like, this season is going to be great. I'm all for it.
Y'all think training camp was crunk last year? Jesus
Christ. Man, I can't wait for this year.
Oh, yeah.
The competition battles from cornerback 2 to who's going to be the depth behind the offensive line, the starters, and of course, where's Troy Anderson going to fit into with this defense, and who's going to be playing alongside Jesse Bates? Isn't there a couple more roster spots available? So they can go. There's like 3 or 4 spots available right now, right? They only had like 85, 86 guys, right?
And there was like
about
86,
5 left.
maybe
5, 6 left. Yeah.
Could be a cornerback coming in the room. Could be. I don't think they're going to sign a wide receiver, but you never know. You never know.
I need to go get my other safety so we can. Never mind.
Oh, they get Simmons, man. It's going to be over. Because everybody in front of them is going to be able to do their job more comfortably.
I don't know. I think Coach Rob put a stamp of approval on Richie, man.
So Richie
he did a lot of good things for him. I think they roll with Richie one more. He's probably they'll roll with him
on his rookie year.
He's on a short leash though. He's on a short leash for 2024.
Mm-hmm. He's going to I'm gonna say he's gonna let us down. He is. I'm sorry.
Hey,
He is.
maybe so, man. But that brings us into
Have
one of
faith,
the
Chris.
thoughts of the
I
show.
do. That he's
Well,
gonna let
man,
us
what you
down.
got, man? What you want to add on, bro? You've been
Hey,
lounging.
man, just with all of the noise, all of the white noise that you're hearing from all of the media pundits,
Oh, phosphorus.
let's lock in, man. Let's lock in. We got a great coach. We got some studs as far as assistant coaches. Their trajectory looks to be good. We already had a good defensive team last year. We had a good offensive team last year. The only thing we were missing was a quarterback. We got two of them. So there's an old African proverb that says, if the enemy within is conquered, the enemy outside has no chance. And it basically just means believe in yourself,
Facts.
right? Tune out all of the white noise, tune out all of the major pundits, and because they're going to hammer on this Kirk Cousins. They're trying to, hey, they need to eat too, right? They want to get you to watch it.
Facts.
We're going to hear about this. I think Smitty said all year, right? It's white noise. At the end of the day, it's about what you do on the field. So Falcons fans, let's lock in, let's tune in, let's be together, rise up, let's go.
Shout out to my boy
Actual
Uncle Steve,
facts.
man. Y'all please go check out
Oh.
Uncle Steve Lounge on YouTube, man. Monday Minutia. He got a Friday brunch. He's just on all the time, man. So y'all please go check out Uncle Steve. Great show. He's always been, one of the cool guys to keep all of us and level-headed, as I should say. So trust me, Uncle Steve got y'all, man, with great Falcons content. Please go check out Uncle Steve Lounge and please subscribe.
Indeed. We're all subscribed. You should be too.
This is great.
Josh,
Facts.
babe, what you got?
But
bro?
I'm ready for the
go
season.
ahead.
I'm ready for the season. I'll be saying this is great. This is great. You hit me up an hour and a half ago, like, bro, you want to talk Falcons? Like, hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk Falcons all day. Shit.
Always.
Falcons right now.
Yeah, this has been great, man. This has been great. Smitty, you got something else, man?
No, just like I said, man, Kurt ain't got nothing to worry about as long as he do his job, man. He do his job. Hey, we all good. There's anybody. No matter if it's corporate, the corporate world, if you do your job and do what you get paid to do, you don't never have to worry about nobody taking your job. But if you're not doing your job and somebody take your job, just don't get mad. Deal with it and keep moving.
Facts. Got a question. So, what's y'all favorite song out of this Drake and Kendrick beef right now? What's y'all favorite song?
I'm still on Euphoria.
Okay, Euphoria.
Yeah, I'm still on that too.
Crazy.
I'm still on that too. So, to be honest, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he put culture in everything. That boy is West Coast, man.
Yeah.
That is a West Coast
Oh,
kid.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they love that new Mustard song that Not Like Us. Like that is Oakland fizz music. That is Sacramento Mac Dre. They used to do their collar like this and dance. That's why they love that shit. Because he represents California. And I was just talking to a group of Falcon fans that was talking about the situation. I was like, bro, the West Coast is finna back Kendrick through everything. That's like their Tupac right now. That's like their Dre and Snoop right now. Right? I used to live on the West Coast, so they really appreciate their artists. And Drake gotta step it up, man. This wasn't a battle I don't think he should have never got involved with. There's too many people out here calling him out. Too many people. They've been waiting for this moment for a very long time.
Yeah, he make a light skinned dude like me and Berto look bad.
Shit,
hey, man,
more like Berto.
Not just to put it out there, Jack. Jesus Christ.
Like you.
But
I've
already been called Butter Pecan. I don't need no more torture, goddammit.
I mean, it's a good battle if you like, 2024 battle, but they're rich.
What does the man next to me mean by him?
Light skin. I just said it. I'm yellow.
He said I'm yellow.
You don't seen me before.
Hey.
Oh man, I ain't messing with you, Chris.
I mean,
I ain't said nothing.
Hey, Jack Johnson, you got him on the golf course, man.
Oh, what Jack? You ducked me on the golf course? That's the Jack fan,
yeah,
right?
you said, yeah.
Hey, I seen him on the golf course out there though.
Yeah, I'm outside, man. If you want to do it, man.
Who trying to hop on that basketball court?
Sheesh, boy, I ain't played basketball in a
There he is.
minute.
Man, you ain't yellow boat. That's coming from the tribal chief. Watch what you say about the
Help
tribal
me,
chief,
man.
because
Okay.
Help country.
Okay.
Help me.
that's 200K plus views. Tribal chief. Let's get it right.
Country's on his golf game too as well.
Big Low, ain't
No, his
nobody
golf-
ask you, dog. I'm just saying.
Sheesh.
Ain't nobody
Help
ask you, dog.
But for all the fans that do golf, when the schedule drops, whatever city, of course, the Falcons are playing in, like Vegas and so on, I'm teeing off in every single city.
Oh,
So I can't wait to go play in Vegas, Minnesota. I done made that a part of my schedule now. Oh, we gonna play some golf out of
Man,
town.
you balling, ain't you?
I mean, it ain't no balling. You just, you play a little golf, man. Have a little couple drinks, man. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot I never did say about the whole schedule release thing. I'm gonna go 2 and a possible. I'm gonna go 2 and a possible real quick.
I guess you read then.
Yeah. Yeah. This man. Y'all out of control now. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2 and a possible though. I agree with Jack about one being away, one being home. But I'm also say later in the season, I believe it's gonna be one that possibly get flexed into the spotlight position. And it could be possibly against the world champions. It could be against a former head coach, no matter which one it could be. But I think we may have 2 and a possible. I think we may get flexed into the spotlight later on in the season because we're doing so well.
Is it going to be the Amazon flex, the Peacock flex, the Temu flex? They got different.
I think I'm gonna roll with the Falcons flex.
Okay, they're gonna try their best.
If it's the team flex, we through.
Yeah, you can forget it. You can forget it. Shoot, you may be through with any of them, honestly.
I mean, look now, they got games on Friday now. Like teams are playing on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Isn't there a Wednesday game? There's a Wednesday game this year, right?
I think they working on it. Because I believe Christmas, but the Christmas game.
They're trying to do something like the day before Christmas or something. I was like, wait a minute, y'all doing a Wednesday game?
They're taking the Christmas games away from the NBA. Last year, when they did do it, it was one game. One game did more views than all NBA games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all of them, just one. So they really fit to snatch that. I don't know what the NBA fit to do. Especially because you can't even play defense in the NBA like that.
Yeah,
without somebody blowing the whistle.
They're gonna have to play on Saturday,
bro. Telling you,
I'm all for it.
But Tony Wright said, "Do y'all want to pick up Stephon Gilmore or Dora Jackson? Do you see them doing it?" I say no. But go ahead.
I go get Simmons and rock with everybody.
Simmons all day, or what's the guy Hendrickson?
Oh, Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, I would either say him or Simmons.
I even seen that he threatened to retire.
Sheesh!
Oh, wow, he really wants out of there.
Right. I'm like,
maybe
let him out to sell.
Yeah,
Gilmore, man.
Yeah,
we do talk NFC South, man. If we get up with some more fans, we're gonna try to do a round table sometime this year. So just stay tuned, man. We're gonna do some round tables.
And we don't like the Aints either.
Amen.
Yeah, we meet a lot of people, other content creators that with other teams. So trust me, we're gonna put together a round table at some point this year.
Hey guys, for my nationally televised game, I'm gonna go the Revenge Tour. So I'm definitely gonna go the Sierra and Russell Bowl versus Future. I'm gonna go with that one.
Man, did you have to bring that up?
I'm gonna go with the Dan Quinn Bowl.
The city's waiting
versus the Falcons, and I'm gonna go with the Kirk come back to Minnesota Bowl up in Minnesota. I'm gonna say it's 3.
Let's go, man.
I'll say about 2 if possible. Just because the media don't like us like that. Dear Falcon fans, I'm sorry the media is trying to bash us.
Shit.
They're talking about us from here all the way to the Calabasas. I really think the comprehension is similar to molasses. That's why we bring you the grill and the quality, because they never surpass us.
Okay.
All right,
man. What, man? I'm on my Kendrick stuff, man.
Hey, you do you, man. That's all right. You go right on ahead.
I like Meet the Grams, okay?
They're definitely going to give us an outdoor game because we're a dome team in the winter. They're going to give us an outdoor game. So probably Philly, Carolina, or Washington will probably be in December or January because they love giving dome teams those cold games randomly towards the end of the year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
We had a snow game in Chicago last year. That's absolutely
Then we had
true.
the Bills that 1 year too as well, end of December.
Right.
Year before that, we had the Saints too as well, which was pretty cold out there in New Orleans that time. But Falcon fans, y'all want to go to one game this year? Like a game that's going to be lit at the Benz? I mean, they have a bunch of good games for the homes. Chiefs, Steelers, Cowboys, they're all going to be lit games. Even the Giants come to town. But go to Vegas if y'all want to go to Vegas.
Mm-hmm. And New Orleans, Bills, y'all gonna need brass knuckles. Man,
Vegas and New Orleans gonna be crazy.
Knuckles. Well, you know, my daddy always told me keep a blade on me. So,
sheesh. Where are we gonna need the brass knuckles for, Smitty? Where are we gonna need?
I said if we play the Bills, them fans rowdy.
Oh, the Bills.
Well, we got a close enough. We got a close enough fan base. We play Philly in Philly, and they are.
Yeah, that Philly. You talk about rowdy. That's rowdy.
They're tough.
Philly. I
got the way Rams fans fight
up there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the way Rams fans fight, they fight every game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. I can finally go ahead and test out this arm I've been working out. I've been working on the Bradshaw. I've been working on that Bradshaw clothesline from hell move. You know what I'm saying? Intensely for the last 2 years. Anybody want to catch this old right hand from a TIP representing old JBL? You know what I'm saying?
There we go. Wrestling reference there.
You know, you can go ahead.
It's cool. Hey, listen, man, we're about to wrap this up, man. It's been a hell of a show. Hell of a show, man.
Pull up to the party, Georgia, Texas boy. Pull up to the party. Say he's going to Vegas.
Let's go, man. It's been great, man. We thank you guys. You know, Chase had to leave, but we thank him for, you know, allowing him, you know, just for coming out, man. And same for, you know, Jack and T. Will, man. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening on this pop-up show. But before you guys go, man, please let them know your socials, where they can find you guys, and we'll take it from there.
Terry, you want to go first? Because y'all going to love this. When Terry go first, it's like, it's a sermon, man.
I don't even
grab your Bibles. Have a seat.
I don't
not
even
Deacon
have that
T. Will.
I don't even have that tonight, man. I'm at one time for the fan, and hey, man, like we say, look, let's just stick together. You know what I mean? I'm sick and tired of big media just dividing us and just, dude, they're laughing in the back. They don't care. Mm-hmm. They don't care about your Falcons. Let me tell you something. I live and die with this stuff. I live and die with it. I've been a Falcons fan for darn near 48 years. I'm 54. Let's call it 49, 50. I live and die with it. I have seen regimes come and go, and I'm telling you, we got a shot with this coach. We got a shot with this team. We got a real shot. But you know what? We can take away from it or we can add to it. So, guys, hey, no big speeches today. Fans, let's stay together, man. Let's believe in our team, man. Let's focus on it. One band, one sound. Jack, go ahead.
And shout out to you, Terry, because to be honest, you can live through two different terms of Mary and Campbell. You can live through anything.
Hey, amen. Amen. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Hey, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Not only for us here at One Time for the Fan, but you got Berto, who does a fantastic job. Smitty, who does a great job. And you got Chris, too, as well. A1, who does a fantastic job. Chase, DFU, he does a great job, too, as well. I mean, we probably could have loaded this up with a whole bunch of content creators tonight because a lot of fans love talking football. I'm sure it is. Because it's the offseason and the fans are excited, and they should be. Could they have a team that they can go out there and say, we're going to win some games this year. We're going to kick some ass. I think there's a Bucs fan in the chat. He's probably looking at his team right now saying, oh, we're going to go out there and win some games and kick some ass. So that fan behavior, it goes for a lot of teams. Shouts out to Butter Pecan Birdo and Yellow Smith. Shit. Now I got to start my shout outs over. I want to thank God first.
Used to catch strays. Oh, come on now.
Who's catching strays? Kendrick Drake beat everybody's going crazy out here.
Hey, I got a nickname for him too, Catfish Country. So I mean, we can do this all day.
Wow.
Oh shit.
For
Catfish Country.
This is what you're gonna get here when you probably show up to our podcast too as well. Their podcast, they do a great job. You can hear it right here, Falcon fans. One Time for the Fans, Sundays at 8, Wednesdays at 8, Fridays 9 a.m. for our breakfast with One Time for the Fan. We love talking Falcons football. If you're going on the road this year, if you're going to an away game this year, the Rise Up Tour Fan Club, you definitely want to check it out. Our memberships are available. Hit me up, Jack Spade, Facebook, social media, everywhere if you want to know anything about the Rise Up Tour fan club. But we throw on big parties, big events for the Falcon fans that do travel. Smitty, Chris, T. Will, Berto, we thank you here at One Time for
Yes.
Always,
Yes.
man. Always.
Berto, Smitty, Chris, thank you. Thank you for having us. Really
Anytime,
appreciate it.
No doubt, man. Anytime, man. Hey, we always talking Falcon football. But y'all know where to find me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. That's Yellow Smitty since Low said. But it's Fat Boy Slim on YouTube. I'm sorry, on Twitter. Trust me, I'm always blowing up the internet with foolishness on Twitter. That's what I do. And y'all can catch me on YouTube because I'm always dropping video daily.
Oh, man.
Boy, ain't gonna be no good.
I hope Chris got some health care because he sure about to fall like that.
For real, man.
All right, y'all. Ain't something wrong with y'all, man. Nah, I'm sorry. The Yellow Smitty just caught me completely out. Oh God.
Nah, the butter pecan Berto was a good one though.
I got sideways. See, I've heard the butter pecan Berto thing before. We got a guy named Uncle Steve.
Yo, Uncle Steve got me with that one.
That thing just took me out, boy. I'm
Damn
sorry,
you, Uncle.
y'all. That was so unprofessional.
Because I know where Smitty is too. I mean, not Smitty. I know where Berto is. He's up north, and he was like Magic City, and I was like, is that the name of the boat that they go out and catch the crabs with? Like, is there a real Magic City out there in your area? Because
Oh no, man.
I want to see what Rhode Island's Magic City is looking like. Because Atlanta's Magic City is a little bit different.
Boy.
Hey, Magic City on the side of the boat. Where they going? Oh, they're finna go catch us some snow crabs. That's Magic City.
Yeah.
Like, brother, I ain't fly out here to
You
come
know
see a
what?
fucking boat. I want to see some goddamn.
I ain't gonna be no more good. If y'all please could just follow me at A1 Forever Sports, and that's all I got.
Magic City's a
That
boat.
damn country.
I don't even know what to say, man.
That
This
damn
is
Mayflower.
lit, bro. This has been the best. This was a must-have. This was definitely a pop-up show for the ages. We appreciate everybody that came.
Hey, that's
through.
what we
Shout out
do,
to
though.
everybody,
That's what
man.
we do.
Shout out to the
That's what
chat
we do.
showing us love, man, like we always did, man. We got these eyes all the way up to 270, man. So shout out to each and every one of you guys, man, for tuning in, catching us on our own platforms. On Twitter, but my platform, 95 North Falcons Talk Show on YouTube. You can also find me tomorrow at 1:00 on Bleacher Report. Got an assignment due for them, highlighting one of the surprises that could the Falcons had that draft. You know, the Falcons draft. Excuse me. I'm all tongue twisted with all this foolery, man. But it is what it is, man. But
You should be
man,
used to. You
happy
should
on
be
Monday
used to
night
that.
back, man. We'll be back on tomorrow
Yeah.
night. Big show, big
Oh,
things happening here on the 95 North Sports Machine. We have the Falcoholic coming through tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
What you said tomorrow at 8 o'clock? Tomorrow at
The
8 o'clock is what?
Falcoholics
Okay, that's
on
what
the
I thought you
95
said.
North Sports Machine.
The Falcoholic is live with you tomorrow night. That's gonna be a
Yes,
big show.
sir.
Fact.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we gonna
Make
keep
sure
that
y'all-
thing lit, man. And I got a new name, man. My name and Instagram is at Lemon Smitty. So
Oh,
Lemon
God,
Smitty.
not Lemon Pepper Smitty. I'm out. In the show.
they call me highlight Yellow Smitty at gmail.com.
Enjoy the Zen.
Oh,
Enjoy
man.
I
the
can't
Zen.
wait to see his LinkedIn. What's his LinkedIn, then, country?
man.
You
Man,
don't start it. What's
We
his
not giving
LinkedIn,
look,
man?
man. Berto, take us out, man.
On that show, peace.
Dun, dun, dun.